Well, the dancing begins in Dayton, Ohio tonight between the FGCU Eagles and the Fairleigh Dickinson Knights. Joe, it was absolutely exhilarating here inside Alico Arena, where you could really use the word electric, because 4,633 set a women's record here in Alico Arena. So congrats to them. The crowd was absolutely fantastic and really propelled these women to their biggest win in program history.
The New England Patriots normally have the Dolphins' number as it is, but even more so when playing on their home turf. You may have thought Miami had a chance against backup quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, but Jimmy G looking like Tommy B. After a 112-year wait, the best golfers in the world were on the Rio links competing for gold. Wait, top four not in Rio. All right.
Viewers may be looking at their clocks right now wondering, what time is it? And for the Charlotte Tarpons, it is time to get better and time to go to work. As you mentioned, this is the first full pad practice for the Tarpons, and they wasted no time whatsoever.
By now, most football fans know that, just like in the movie Clerks, the Miami Dolphins weren't even supposed to be here. If you thought last year's epic showdown between FGCU and Stetson in the ASUN Championship was good, well, just like Rocky II, you need to see the rematch. There is no doubt Southwest Florida is rallying around Brooke Sweat in her Olympic journey. From FGCU giving her a warm Rio send-off to local advertisers even singing her praises in commercials. But Sunday was the day Sweat started her march toward a medal. And that road did have a pothole, otherwise known as Poland. President-elect Donald Trump in attendance for one of the best rivalries in college football, Navy versus Army. The midshipmen have won 14 straight in the series. Some would call that huge. What better way to let out your frustration of getting bumped out of the top 25 than face a team you have owned since the Ronald Reagan era?
The FGCU Eagles jump-started 2016 March Madness with a signature play that gained them recognition in homes nationwide 3 years ago: a dunk.
Patrick Reed and Rory McIlroy have been the face of this year's Ryder Cup, wearing their emotions on their sleeve all weekend and, oh yeah, playing golf out of their minds.
Yes, the men's team is on fire on a 7-game win streak, and then they get to open up their home opener right here in the brand new Suncoast Credit Union Arena.
Head coach Adam Gase sent a message by dropping the axe on 3 veterans on the offensive line. That Mafia-style message might as well have been smelling salts the Dolphins desperately needed before taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
The FGCU Eagles are officially dancing now that Selection Sunday has concluded, and they actually know where they will be dancing in the upcoming NCAA tournament. Good evening, I'm Angelo Caruso, live in Alico Arena.
Stephen Ross made it perfectly clear he has high hopes, even throwing out the P word. Mind you, Dolphins haven't made the playoffs in 8 years. Meanwhile, Barron Collier might as well be called the Cardiac Cats, because the Cougars have clawed their way from the depths of the defeat to pull out last-minute victories in all 3 of their wins this season. The postseason for the once mighty Miami Hurricanes has resembled more of a tropical depression as of late. It's been nearly a decade to the day the last time the Canes tasted bowl victory, and as if Miami needed any extra motivation, this was the scene Monday at a bowl event in Kissimmee where West Virginia players were verbally taunting the U to bring it in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Well, Mountaineers wish granted. To say Will Muschamp left the University of Florida unceremoniously is like saying Tim Tebow was an okay college quarterback. Major understatement. Coach Boom was run out of Gainesville 2 years ago mid-season, and now in a sense of irony came back into the swamp with his new team, which was also the same one that got him fired in the first place.
Now, earlier in Alico, there was a viewing watch party where FGCU Eagle fans were waiting very patiently to find out who they would face, and the answer is a play-in game, that dreaded play-in game that we were previewing earlier.
By now, sports fans have seen and heard the trip heard around the world. Duke guard Grayson Allen was suspended indefinitely after his 3rd tripping of an opposing player in the last 11 months. We're going to go to our game of the week, and it's coming from Zaquandre White. It's a staple on the program. ZB fast, ZB good. Z's doing things I wish I could. 80-yard punt return for a touchdown. I get it. Fans want their players healthy as they can be when making a run at the Lombardi Trophy. But there is something to be said about positive momentum and, more importantly, improving your seeding to avoid perhaps the 2 best quarterbacks left standing in the AFC.
Now, Mark-Eddie Norelia told us on Tuesday, if a one is going to go down, this year is as good as any. Whether that happens in Raleigh, we'll find out soon enough. At the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, Angelo Caruso, NBC2 Sports.
FGCU had to overcome the absence of star forward Mark-Eddie Norelia at the start of the season because, well, he broke his hand. That's understandable. But what is going on now in Eagle Land? Well, it's truly baffling, as Norelia has not played in the game since since December 13th. The Miami Dolphins entered Week 17 knowing they were a lock for the postseason, but Sunday was all about playing for a shot at the 5 seed and also measuring up to the AFC East's big bully on the block.
The road to the Final Four begins right here in Dayton, Ohio. This is the site of the first four, and this is also going to be the site where FGCU opens up the 2016 NCAA tournament.
AC, there were a lot of blowouts on Friday night, and I think you have the worst.
Yeah, it wasn't that great for my teams, Joe, and thank you for that segue. Sports pundits love to say defense wins championships. Well, Dunbar had one shutout all of last year. Have already matched that tally by holding Lehigh to a goose egg in Dunbar's home opener. Tigers back on the road, but what's great about defense, and another one of those sports sayings, it travels very well. We're officially into the home stretch of the 44th annual Culligan City of Palms Classic. The first semifinal on Tuesday in the main bracket was an all-Florida slugfest. Perennial powerhouse Montverde against equally impressive and also undefeated IMG Academy. We're going to get back to football in a moment, but first, news that sent shockwaves through South Florida and really the entire sporting world on Sunday. 24-year-old Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez died in a boating accident early Sunday morning. It was remembered throughout Major League Baseball for his charisma, jovial personality, and unbelievable baseball talent on the field.
NBC2 has been with the Eagles from the very beginning, and we will continue to cover the Eagles till the very end, whenever that may be. In Raleigh, North Carolina, I'm Angelo Caruso for NBC2 Sports.
It's not easy being the new kid on the block, and harder even more so when confined to a wheelchair.
He has been dying and waiting for this moment.
10-year-old Toby Thomas and his family moved to Southwest Florida a year ago. Toby was born with spina bifida, a birth defect when the spinal cord fails to develop properly.
He tries to do his best he can and adapt to the able-bodied world, but with sled hockey, it's the opposite. It's adapting to him.
Toby and his mom heard about sled hockey at the Fort Myers Stadium from his therapist, and Toby, a big hockey fan, was gung-ho for the adapted sport where everybody sits in the sled the same way and propels themselves in the same way as well.
It's a lot more moving and a lot more strength than I thought it would be. It's like, you don't have disability, it's awesome.
This has been everything for our move. This has been kind of the icing on the cake for us to say, okay, this can be long-term because we can provide our child with sports programs and an outlet and a way to just be a child like every other child.
That sense of normalcy is what the Florida Sled Hockey Association provides.
I like to see everybody have a good time.
Along with encouragement, guidance, and an outlet for anybody with any disability.
To be able to see the adults cheering him on and wanting him to do well and come alongside and help him learn how to do a sport, and there to be no talk about disability or what you can't do, but just learning how to adapt to the sport has been awesome.
Just cool enough to boast to his 5th grade friends about. The new sport where the new kid on the block can fly on the ice. In Fort Myers, Angelo Caruso, NBC2 Sports. There's nothing quite like competition between brothers.
Speed, baby.
He's gonna try, but I got power. I'm too heavy for him. I'm too big.
Skills pay the bills.
I'll tell you what, if first 2 or 3 rounds, I'm lighting them up.
You ever get sick of that guy?
Yeah, actually a lot.
The twosome grew up in Cape Coral and are both professional boxers with undefeated records in different weight classes.
He's Wyatt Earp and I'm Doc Holliday. We're the Young Guns.
The real crime maybe we'll never actually see Young Guns Dario and Bruno Bredesian against one another in the ring, save for occasional sparring sessions.
We need some work, if I'm looking to have a field day, then we'll do it.
But behind the trash talk and body blows is a family bond. The brothers have been in each other's corner, figuratively or literally, since they started boxing as teenagers.
I'm more nervous watching him fight than I am for myself.
Oh, Jesus, don't put your hands down, kiddo.
This sport, it can get rough, and to have somebody so close like, my big bro, to experience the ups and the downs, it's really good.
The high point will be this coming September in Canada, when the duo will be on the same fight card for the first time in their careers.
Hey, Dario.
I don't think you can say Dario without Bruno and Bruno without Dario. I think if we're always going to be mentioned by either media or coaches or whatever, you can't say my name without saying his. If he succeeds and if I'm never as big as him, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, and I'm sure he feels the same way.
As long as they can do it together, on their terms, with occasional tough brotherly love. In Fort Myers, Angelo Caruso, NBC2 Sports.